Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Halloween. And welcome to our 45th annual Leader Luncheon. And thank you to Ywca and Chris for getting us started. Thank you so much to Ywca, who is one of our 55 board members and absolutely is a leader amongst our board. But I'd also like you to meet the rest of those board members as well as our board emeritus members. So if you could all stand, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for all that you do for the YWCA. We actually also have a very special group of individuals here that have our previous honorees. We call them our Leadership Academy members, and I know a few of them are here, so I'd also would like them to stand. Thank you all for definitely leading the way and making sure that we do know today as a futurist female. I'd also like to thank all of our amazing sponsors for today's luncheon. You can see them all listed in your program book, but I want to take time to specifically call out and express my gratitude to the following presenting and host committee sponsors. So first, thanks again to CDW and your supporting partners for being our presenting sponsor for the second year in the row. So thank you to CDW. And of course, all of your amazing partners. I'd also like to express thanks to the following host committee sponsors. Now I'll ask that everyone please hold their applause to the end. It never works, but I think we just like to ask anyway. So Allstate Insurance Company and our co-chair, Gilder Spencer. See what I'm saying? BMO Harris Bank, CTS Impact and co-chair Julie Scott. iHeartMedia Chicago and co-chair Angela Ingram. ITW, Ulta Beauty, and our friends from United Airlines. So thank you all. I'd also like to acknowledge a few of our friends here from the city. So we have City Treasurer Kurt Summers, we have a representative from his office, as well as City Clerk Ana Valencia, who are in attendance today. I actually don't see Ana and Kurt yet, but if you all would please stand and recognize the City Treasurer's office, that would be great. Thank you. Oh, actually, Kurt had to make a grand entrance there. He is. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. Thank you for being here. So our last acknowledgement, many of our 150 YWCA staff members are here today working at the event, and many others are out in the field doing our important work that doesn't stop just because we're having a fabulous luncheon today. I have the honor of working alongside these very gifted individuals who are passionate about the work that they do every single day. At the YWCA, we like to say that we help people, and these staff are on the front lines and helping thousands of people every year. So I'd just like to give our staff a round of applause. And they also keep me in check, so they're wonderful, wonderful people. So I can't believe that it is already October 31st, and this has been an absolutely incredible year for the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago. So this past year, the YWCA trained our 4th cohort of women and men in the Construct program. Construct is a program that's in partnership with ComEd, People's Gas, Nicor Gas, and some of their partners like Intron, Trice, PMI Energy Solutions, and Burling Builders. The program seeks to train and employ a diverse workforce in the utility construction industry. All in all, more than 70 individuals have graduated from the YWCA's Construct program, and 57 are now gainfully employed in the field, so we're thrilled about this. As the only rape crisis center on the south side of Chicago, we further expanded our sexual violence support services to reach even more under-resourced communities like Roseland, Riverdale, and Pullman with our counseling and advocacy services. In addition, we'll now support survivors who would present at 3 additional hospitals on the south side. And this is so important because we continue to talk about violence in the city of Chicago, but we must recognize the impact of sexual violence as well. So lastly, one of our huge accomplishments that I like to talk a lot about is our program called Tiny Boots. So we created and launched Tiny Boots, which is an absolutely groundbreaking service where the YWCA helps veterans access quality child care while they're receiving health care or employment services. So the child care providers are from the YWCA network and all have extra capacity. So this is a great example of the kind of win-win-win partnership that the YWCA seeks to form. So when I say that our mission is to eliminate racism and empower women, I actually mean it. It may sound a bit aspirational, and people ask me all the time, oh, what's your mission? We're like, eliminate racism and empower women, as if we're gonna be able to do that tomorrow. But we actually believe that we're going to do it because we are absolutely doing the things today that will allow us to really fulfill our mission. We also believe that the future is here, and we're just all sort of experiencing it at very different rates. So we're living in a world where Amazon just bought Whole Foods, where the data that you generate while shopping at Target or Target is way more valuable than the actual Halloween decorations that you may have just bought. We're also living in a world where one woman's disclosure using the hashtag #MeToo on social media rallied more than 1.7 million women and men across 85 countries in solidarity to address sexual harassment and sexual assault. So indeed, the future is absolutely already here. But the scale of our challenges that we're trying to solve are absolutely huge, and we cannot continue to address them in the same ways. So I asked myself, what is the future of human services? You know, there's a quote that says, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. So, if we want to actually see a world without racism and where women thrive, we have to be the ones that create it. So, we were very fortunate to be introduced to a young man called Andre Hughes, and Andre is a retired global managing partner at Accenture. He founded an amazing organization called Powered by Action. Powered by Action is a nonprofit dedicating to helping other nonprofits transform lives through technology. So, Andre knew of our mission, so he thought that he would go help us do this. So he actually generously built the YWCA Chicago, a platform that will revolutionize our work. And I know many of you have access to technology and know absolutely how important this is. So today, we're about to launch our Empower app to further digitize our movement to eliminate racism and empower women. The Empower app will allow all Chicagoans, and in fact anyone in the world, to come together to provide and access best-in-class trainings and educational content to share and take advantage of job opportunities and to build communities. Definitely in the name of empowerment. And all of this can be done from anywhere at any time. We want people that care about our work to stay engaged and collaborate with us and each other to help us solve the biggest issues that are in our communities. So, I'm going to ask you to pull out your iPhones, or sorry, other phones too, sorry. All your phones, whatever they may be. So you can download, so you search Empower in the App Store or the Apple Store or the Google Store. So it's just MPWR. It's also in your program booklet. You can see the name Empower. So I'll wait while you all do this. Thank you, Joe. So once you download and log in, you'll be part of the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago community at large, and from there, you can form and join other communities. So just imagine and think about the power as this community continues to grow as we come together in the 140-year legacy of the YWCA. In 1876, the YWCA Chicago was on the forefront of providing opportunities and housing to immigrant women. In 1920, we were leaders in the women's suffrage movement. During World War II, the YWCA Chicago was actively supporting women in joining the armed forces and in finding employment in jobs that were vacated by American servicemen. In the 1950s and 60s, we were on the front lines of the civil rights movement. Now, as we sit here in 2017, we are again pioneering women's empowerment with a goal to bring together people from across Chicago and even the world in a digital movement. One of my favorite quotes is by Maya Angelou. She says that a solitary fantasy can transform a million realities. So I invite you to join me in my fantasy to absolutely create a future that is female. So thank you.